This video is going to be on window cleaning upsells. First, what is an upsell? Why we upsell? How this benefits both you and the customer? How to make an upsell? And our expectations when it comes to upselling. First off, what is an upsell? An upsell is a service that you, the technician, offer to provide to the customer for an additional cost. Upsells should be done the same day while you are on the job site. We intentionally do not book our schedules completely full, so you have the opportunity to upsell the customer at every single job. Next, why do we upsell? A lot of times when people hear the word sale, salesman, or upsell, there's a bad connotation associated with that. The reason we are upselling is not to try to make an extra profit off of the customer. It is so we can provide more value to the customer and leave them with a better experience while benefiting our employees by giving them the opportunity to make more income at every single job. A lot of times customers don't even know that we offer other services or that we can do other things for them, and we are benefiting them by at least offering them the option to do another service while we're already at the property. In addition, a lot of times we're actually able to discount the service because we're already on site, so the customer also gets a better deal on that new service. Next, how does this benefit both you and the customer? I already went through a few reasons why this benefits the customer, like providing more value to them and letting them know about other services that we do, along with giving them a discounted rate of what they would normally pay if they just called up our office. This benefits our technicians. In window cleaning specific, you will get 10% of everything that you upsell in addition to your P for P percentage. For example, if you're earning 20% P for P and you upsell someone, you are now going to get 30% of that portion, the 20% for doing the labor and 10% for upselling it. So this gives you a great opportunity to add on more income for yourself at every single job. Next, how do we actually upsell the customer? This will be a basic framework to use for most window cleaning upsells. There will be additional videos on how to upsell different services individually. The first thing you want to do to put yourself in a good spot to upsell is have a great first impression on the customer. If the customer likes you, you're charismatic, and they know they're going to do a great job on everything, they are way more likely to accept your upsell. So when you first talk to the customer and knock on the door, make sure to have a great impression and follow the Yoshi's framework of how to introduce yourself and let them know what will be going on for the job. The next thing you want to do is start the job and complete at least 25% of it before you try to upsell the customer. If you try to upsell them before actually starting on the job, this can leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth and make them think that we're just there to try to sell them additional services. We want to get started on the job and then try to upsell them. Once that is completed, we always recommend doing a small portion of the upsell to show the customer what this would look like. For example, if you're going to try to upsell a gutter scrub, we recommend cleaning about 2 to 4 feet of the gutter just to show the customer how this looks. This puts accurate expectations in their mind of how it will look when it is done, and it'll also show them how good the job will look. If you try to upsell them on a gutter scrub, but they don't know how it will look, it's a little bit harder to do. Once you've done that small portion, this is the time to grab the customer and show them where that spot has been done and see if it's something that they like and they'd want you to continue. This is when you can present the option to upsell and let them know what the price would be if they want you to complete the service. And finally, the expectations when it comes to upselling. Your goal is to upsell every single customer on your schedule. The expectation is that you upsell at least 50% of the customers on your schedule. This means not being super pushy, but offering an upsell every single time so that at least 50% of the customers will accept this. One expectation that we have is not putting yourself behind schedule by offering unreasonable upsells when it comes to time management. For example, you're cleaning the exterior windows only on a large home and you have another job coming up in 30 minutes to an hour. It's probably not the best idea to try to upsell the interior windows on the spot. This is a time where we'd still expect you to attempt to upsell, but we might just come back and do the interior windows the next day or later in the day. Other expectations that we have when it comes to upsells is not being pushy with the customer. If you offer an upsell and they don't accept it, this is not a good time to try to push them into accepting the upsell and doing that service. If they don't want the service, that's perfectly okay. You should be proud of yourself for attempting and letting them know that we do have other services, because they might end up calling us in the future to do those services. Another expectation that we have when it comes to upselling and actually doing a portion of the upsell and then showing the customer is not making it super obvious and getting a customer upset because we made a dirty spot in their house stick out like a sore thumb. Here's an example. A customer has gutters that are dark green with algae, and you go right above their front porch and scrub a 2-foot section where every time they walk up to their front porch, they can then see how dirty the rest of the gutters are if they don't want to accept the upsell. When you're doing something like this to do a portion of the upsell, we always want to do this on the sides or back of the house and keep it to a small portion. So if the customer doesn't want to move forward with the upsell, that's okay, but it doesn't stick out. The final expectation when it comes to upselling is that you are only upselling services that you and your crew will do. For example, if you're a window cleaning technician and that's the only service that you are qualified to do, you will not be upselling house washing or Christmas lights. Additionally, we do not want you upselling services within the window cleaning realm that another crew will do. You should only be upselling services for yourself and your crew to do.